Hey guys, it's been a while since I made a video, but I'm planning to do a bike tour, and so I wanted to share what I'm planning to bring and how I pack and so forth. Um, Unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing it with the e-bikes since they're not really prepared for a bike tour yet. The panniers don't even fit on the racks and stuff. But I do have my traditional touring bike. It's a Trek 520, 2018. I got about 4,000 miles on it, and that's all set up for touring. So let me go through what exactly I'm going to bring and a little bit more about the tour. And actually, let me talk first a little bit about where I'm planning to go. I'm planning to go on Route 66 from St. Louis, Missouri to Chicago, Illinois, and it's going to be about a week-long tour. And that's sort of part one, and then depending on how I feel, I may do a part two, but for now I'm set up for just doing that Route 66 from St. Louis to Chicago. So let me walk through all the stuff that I'm bringing. So here's all the stuff, laid it out here on this tarp so you can see it. And starting at the top, basically I've got the bag that all the stuff's going to go into underneath. So that blue bag, I've got my headphones, charger, some extra batteries, some USB chargers, my speaker that I put on the bike, and also it's great just for listening when I'm in the hotel or whatever. I've got my headlamp and front and rear lights for the bike in case I'm riding through tunnels or riding at night, which I'll try to avoid. Got a waterproof case for my phone, and then here are the maps. You can see the bicycle Route 66, and this is map number 1, and you can see it's going from St. Louis to Chicago, and this is from Adventure Cycling. I recommend these maps. They give you basically turn by turn, and they tell you where to go. Helps you get through larger cities and stuff through safe, relatively safe routes, and they take you on bike lanes, roads with bike lanes, or bike trails as much as they can, depending on where you're going. So that's that bag, and all that goes in this one pannier underneath these clothes. So I've got my jersey, padded shorts, I got some cold weather clothes, just some long johns and a hat. The weather's going to be in the 60s at night and 80s during the day, so I don't expect it to get very cold, but just in case at night, I've got a little bit of warm clothing. I've got some shorts. I've got these long pants that I could put on top in case I want to stay warm, and they're somewhat water resistant. Let's see what else. I've got about 3 shirts. One of them is sort of for biking. I've got a couple underwear, socks. Then I've got the rain jacket. I've got a down jacket, and then I've just got a lightweight jacket for on the bike. And all that goes into that one pannier. The second pannier is basically my camping stuff, which I'm probably going to do a little bit of camping and staying in motels, hotels. So I'm going to bring the stuff just in case I need it. It gives me more options. I got my sleeping bag, sleeping pad. I've got my pillow, inflatable pillow. This is basically a liner for the sleeping bag. Then I've got the tent, and here's the tent fly. The poles for the tent are in that duffel bag over there because they're long, they don't fit in the panniers. But that's everything that goes in that second pannier. And then I've got a duffel bag that I'm going to put on top of the 2 rear panniers. And I just have some random stuff in here. This is not waterproof, so I put stuff in here that doesn't really matter if it gets wet. Got some sandals, got my poles like I said. This is like a tarp that I can use. And that tarp might come in handy also if I need to take an Uber or something. I could put the tarp down and then put my bike on top of it in case the Uber driver probably doesn't want his car or her car to get oily from the chain or whatever. So it might make them feel more comfortable giving me a ride. And then just got some straps to strap things down. I've got an extra tube for the stakes. I got a mallet and a little sweep for the tent, which I probably don't need. I may not bring that. Some of this stuff I may scale back further, but this is sort of my initial thoughts of what I'm going to bring. I've got a little reflector that I put on the back just so cars can see me. Some extra towels, little towels for cleaning stuff. Got a first aid kit and suntan lotion and ibuprofen, which I've found to be really handy in case those long rides and your muscles start to complain. That helps a lot. All my toiletries are in this bag here, and some extra stuff is in here. I'll try to scale that down a little bit more if I can. And then, so that's everything that goes in the duffel bag. And then the front handlebar bag is here, and I've got just a yellow vest for visibility. I've got a tube, some tools for if I need to tighten anything on the bike or whatever. This is just the carrying the handle for the front handlebar bag. For changing tires, I've got this, some air, compressed air in case I need it. But I do have a manual air pump on the bike that is my primary way of filling the air. And then over here, I've got my lock, some sweatbands, some extra towels and stuff for sweat, and then some gloves. And then, of course, my keys, wallet, glasses, and for the water, in case I need to add a little bit to it. And that's pretty much all I'm bringing. As far as the bike itself, let me show you a little bit about it. It's a Trek 520. It's a touring bike. It's a steel bike. I've just got the rear rack on it. I've got my helmet here. It's pretty much a stock bike. Some of the things I changed to it, this is where my phone goes, the phone mount right there. Front handlebar bag clips in there. I've got 2 water bottles. And then underneath that, I've got my air pump. I changed out the pedals. These are a lot wider and bigger, so it's more comfortable for me to ride my bike. I don't use clip-in pedals. I just don't find those to be comfortable. And I just go at a fairly moderate pace. I don't really care about speed too much. There's the rear rack. I put a new saddle on here. The original saddle was very uncomfortable. So I got one of these Brooks, and they're really much better. Not super comfortable, but they don't cause chafing, and you could be on there for a long time, even without padding, and not have to worry too much about having issues. And then I changed out the tires on this as well. And this is a 2018, so it's got the disc brakes. And one of the things about this bike is it has the bar end shifters. And so I couldn't put a mirror on the bar end, which is normally where you'd put one. So I ended up just getting this clamp-on mirror that I'll put on. Hopefully that will work. But because these bars are pretty thick, it's hard to find a clamp-on mirror that works, but supposedly this one does. So I'll be trying that one out because it's pretty important to see who's coming up behind you when you're on a bunch of different roads and stuff in unfamiliar terrain. So, also I've got this U-Haul box in the back. I am planning to take the bike and travel by Amtrak from San Antonio to St. Louis. And so I'm going to put the 2 panniers and the duffel bag with all the stuff in the front handlebar bag in in that box, and that'll be under 50 pounds. And then I can just check it in as luggage. And then the great thing about Amtrak is for bikes, they allow you to check in the bike without having to disassemble it or anything. I could just, as long as there's no bags on it or anything, I basically just label the bike, put a little label on it, hand them in the baggage, hand them my bike, and they've got bike racks inside. And so I know it's safe, and I don't have to worry about disassembling it, putting it in a box, finding a box, and then reassembling it at the destination. So that's why I decided to take Amtrak. And it's also, I mean, this is supposed to be an adventure, so on Amtrak I'll be able to see a little bit more of the sights. And yeah, it's going to be a long ride. I think it's 24 hours to go from San Antonio to St. Louis, but they've got food and stuff, and yeah, I could just watch movies and just take it easy. So I'm not in a rush. So Amtrak should work out. And then when I get there, I'll just take the stuff out of the box, put it on the bike, strap it down, and ride off to onto the trails until my first night's destination. So I'm not going to really be videoing the tour because I don't have an action camera, but I just wanted to kind of talk through what I bring and how I'm planning to do it. Maybe when I get back, I'll do a quick video with my thoughts and experiences of the trip. Until then. All right, so I've loaded it all up. All the stuff from my bike tour is on the bike now. You can see I've got a rear rack with 2 rear panniers and a duffel bag on top, and then the front handlebar bag, and I got my speaker set up there, and the 2 water bottles. And I'm not running the front rack or handlebar bags or panniers for this trip, just to see if it will work like this. Just keeps it a little bit simpler, less to deal with, although it's not going to be as balanced in terms of the weight, won't be as evenly distributed. So we'll see how it handles, and I'll let you know once I get back from the bike tour.